Tim Cowicom, The Athletic, ask officially, do you have any update on Iguodala's status for tonight?
Yeah, Andre will not play tonight.
Steve, is this mostly a cautionary thing, or is it something that
you don't need to tweet first?
I don't tweet during your press conference. I don't find your press conferences that interesting.
Everybody
at the
else, everybody else is tweeting, which means they're beating you.
We got to
punch.
We got to pause.
I wonder if your boss is going to be upset with you.
Yeah.
Oh, you are the boss.
Yeah, I know.
I wonder you're not tweeting.
It's a nice luxury.
You're making sure Anthony's tweeting. That's
yes,
what it is.
Yes, he's on. He better be on. Is this a cautionary thing, or is this something that you are worried that it could linger for a few more games?
If he was close, he would play. So he's injured, so he's not playing. So we'll see what happens in a couple of days.
Chuck Nevius, Santa Rosa Press Democrat. Congratulations on the Rudy Tomjanovich Award, second time.
Thank you.
I'm just seriously wondering if you made a conscious effort to say I'm going to give thoughtful answers to the media, unlike a lot of people do, or if you just realized how well Greg Popovich was doing, you just thought you'd continue on that same path.
Has Pop ever won the Rudy? No. Main thing is I was just trying to be considerate to all of you all year so I could get that trophy. So I like the trophy.
Coach Kerr, Tony Harvey, Sacramento Observer.
Hi, Tony.
How you doing? How do you see this game? Do you see any pressure, on the Warriors, or hey, it's just a take and give thing, one game after another?
It's so great. I love that. Who's the pressure on? We have pressure to win 2 more games, and they have pressure to win 3 more games. So there's pressure every game. It's the playoffs, So I hope our guys feel pressure. We tend to play better when we do, but there's pressure on everybody. We know that.
Tim McMahon, ESPN. Nick Young's defensive numbers when he's been the primary defender this series have been, honestly, surprisingly really, really good. What have you seen from him on that end of the floor?
I think his strength as a defender is his ability to stay in front of the ball. So this is a team that forces you to do so. They're going to ISO, and they've got 2 of the best in the world coming downhill at you, and you got to stay in front. And Nick does a good job of that. He's done a good job of that, this whole year. And so he played well against Houston in the regular season. He's continued to play well in the series. So, we're happy with his play.
Hi, Steve. Janie McCauley from AP. Did you talk to the league as you planned to on Draymond's technical, or did you get any feedback there?
Yeah, we talked to the league, and they're not rescinding it. But, those conversations are always private, and so we respect their decision. We move on.
Steve, you've obviously sung Andre's praises all season long, and especially during the playoffs. What are you guys going to be missing without him tonight?
Well, obviously he's a great defender, and he's a guy who I think he led the league in assist-to-turnover ratio. If he didn't lead it, he was right up there. You guys have heard me sing his praises for years. He's an organizer. He's a guy who settles us down. He continuously makes the right play. So we'll miss all that.
Monty Poole, NBC Sports Bay Area. Steve, can you go back to when you guys first drafted Kevon and just his development over the last couple of years and just where he is now and how he got there?
I think the biggest thing was health. One of the reasons he dropped to us at 29 or 30, wherever we picked him, was because of the hip. It was known that he had a hip problem, so we drafted him. He missed most of that first year with the hip surgery, and then the second year, the other hip. So we knew he could play. We drafted him for a reason, and we could tell his basketball IQ stood out, his feel. But what he did was he remade his body this past summer. He lost 30 pounds. I think part of being in the NBA the first couple of years is learning how to be a pro. And I think he learned from Andre and some of our other vets, like how to be a pro. Andre literally told him, you need to change your diet, and he did, and helped him lose the weight. And now Kevon is one of our key guys. And so I just have so much admiration for the work he's put in. I always love when you see a young player just kind of get it And Kevon gets it. He's going to have a long career, hopefully with us. But I'm thrilled for him and his individual achievement this year.
Steve, Brian Smith, Houston Chronicle. The first 3 games of this series have been decided by about a total of 70-plus points. Any personal theories why this series, two very evenly matched teams, has maybe been so uneven initially, and then the playoffs as well, there hasn't maybe been as much competition as people thought there would be coming in? Yeah,
I've been asked that a few times. My only theory would be the prominence of the three-point shot these days. You know, offensively, teams are so explosive. The scores are much higher now than they used to be. The rules favor the offensive players. And when you add in the human nature factor during the playoffs, which team has the edge, you know, emotionally, which team is feeling threatened and on edge, you know, maybe it's that combination of three-point shooting and explosiveness and, you know, the human element. I don't know, just a theory.
Sam Amick, USA Today. Steve, to take it back to Kevon for a moment, Chris DeMarco seems like he's working with him every single day. You know, they said courtside breakdown film. Can you speak to just the role he's played in keeping his head in a good place and the development? Yeah, Chris has been great. He's a really good coach, and you know, he works with a lot of our guys. He works very closely with Clay, and I think he's helped Clay quite a bit. But Kevon in particular, you know, Chris is there with him every single morning before anybody else is on the floor. Those two are out there, and Kevon's willing to do the work, and Chris is offering his help, and it's been a great partnership for those two. And you know, we're lucky to have Loon, and I'm lucky to have Chris.
Coach Kerr, I have a question outside of basketball, if you don't mind. Over in hockey, one of the other four sports in America, there's a phenomenon happening over there. I don't know if you're watching it or not, but you know, the Vegas Knights are doing something close to the miracle of 1980. I just wanted to see if you could share your thoughts on that. I'm aware of what's happening. I'm not a huge hockey fan,
but remarkable that an expansion team could be as successful, wildly successful as Vegas has been. And I can't offer you any insight, but I'm happy for them. I'm happy for that community and for the players. And man, what an amazing job they've all done. It's I didn't think that was possible, you know, with an expansion team, but I guess nobody else did either. Thank you, Steve. So I got this award because I turned around and looked at something. I mean, yeah. That's all it takes.
Just be happy you're not getting a bust.
You're a good quote, a willing quote, and a fearless quote. That's the thing that strikes me. Is we appreciate it.